Hello, this is the EKS Shaving Podcast, and I'm talking with my dad about shaving. So, hi, Dad.
Hello.
So, when did you start shaving?
The first time I shaved, I think I was about 13.
Okay, about 13. Was there anything specific or unique about it?
Well, like a lot of kids, I didn't tell anyone. I just knew that I needed to clean up my face. So I snitched my dad's razor and shaved myself.
Did you cut yourself?
I don't think I did. I was very careful that first time.
So, what's your recommendation for beginners then?
Don't be embarrassed that you're shaving. It's a part of growing up. And talk to your dad or someone who can give you some pointers on how to shave.
Right, so, that's about all for people who are beginning. It's just as simple as talking to your parents if you're unsure?
You need to get advice. If you go on the internet, there's a million people telling you how to do anything. But you just need someone who can give you good advice, maybe even step you through the first time.
Alright, so there has been definitely a larger focus on men's beauty. So, what do you think is the difference between shaving and makeup for men's beauty?
Well, shaving is certainly the more traditional way of a man cleaning up his appearance. Makeup is relatively new for streetwear. Actors, of course, have always had makeup. But when I was young, very, very few men had makeup on. It started about the time I was in college, I think, is when I first started seeing young men wearing makeup.
So, alright, so if that's the case, do you have any recommendations for those on a budget?
For someone on a budget, I'd recommend starting with traditional single blade razors. You can buy a razor for very little money, $10 to $15. A single blade, an old traditional safety razor blade, can cost as little as 15 cents and lasts a week. That's 3 cents a day. If you buy a multi-blade razor, they cost $3, $4, $5 and last about 2 weeks. So you're paying 10 times more to shave with one of those than you do with a traditional single edge blade.
And is there anything else that separates a single edge from a double edge?
Quite a lot. A single edge takes a little more practice. You are a little more likely to cut yourself if you are not careful. But you're not going to cut yourself to ribbons. A multi-blade is not that much safer. The main difference is a multi-blade is much more irritating to most people's skin, and particularly a young person who may have a little problem with acne. A single edge blade is much kinder to your face than having 4, 5, 6 blades drug across it all at the same time.
So you're recommending a single edge for beginner shavers?
Yes, very much so.
Is there anything else we should worry about? Should we worry about the creams, the sticks, the hard soap?
Well, that's a personal question. You have to decide what you want. For a beginner, I would recommend starting with a cream. It's easier to create a lather with a cream than it is a hard soap. It's partly lathered already when it comes out of the tube. I don't really recommend aerosol foams for beginners, particularly young people who may be experiencing acne. The propellants tend to have a lot of irritants and can make your acne a little worse. You're better off with a good, simple cream. It's a little better for the environment and it's much better for your skin.
Alright, thanks. That's very good. And so why should shaving be considered something more than just cleaning oneself? Why should it be a hobby? Several male and female makeup stylists have already made makeup into a lifestyle more than a hobby. So what's the shaving equivalent to that? Should we value this?
Well, you have a couple of choices with shaving. There's maybe 3 ways you can view shaving. You can decide never to shave and have a beard. The problem with that is not everyone can grow a nice looking beard, and a beard tends to be a little dirty. They're germ factories. There's no way to keep your beard 100% clean. The other problem some people face is they consider shaving a chore. And That's not the way to view it. Shaving can be a pleasure. You can pick dozens, hundreds of scents of soap and types of soap to use on your face. You can choose different kinds of brushes to give yourself different sensations as you lather up. You can even choose hundreds of different kinds of razors to use so that you can customize it to yourself. And shaving can become a very pleasurable thing to do as opposed to a chore that you just get through every day. Some men consider shaving a meditation. It's up to you. You can love it or you can just get through it.
So it's going to be an essential thing for almost everyone, right? But it's really dependent on how you choose to view it, basically.
Yeah, with anything that you have to do, you have a choice to love it or stop doing it or learn to love it. If you have to do it, you might as well learn to love it, even if you don't initially.
Do you have any advice for people who are going to try and enjoy it? How can you make it more pleasurable?
You can do a little research. There's lots of shaving forums on the internet, and you can see people discussing different scents, different types of soaps, different types of shaving brushes, different razor blades from different manufacturers, different razors from different manufacturers, and you can see some people get very passionate about what they're using and why they're using it. There are collectors out there who may have hundreds of antiques, and they enjoy shaving with that antique. Other people are always looking for the latest and greatest, best invention. It's what pleases you that matters most.
Right, so it's what pleases. So if you have very sensitive skin, what would be best for someone with sensitive skin? Not like acne, but like very delicate.
If you have very delicate or very sensitive skin, the first thing you need to do is look for a soap with no colors and no scents. The oils that provide scents are frequently the reason someone has a sensitivity issue with things on their face. So you need to look for a soap with nothing added to it that's just a basic shaving soap. The other thing that may be a little counterintuitive is you need to find a very aggressive razor as opposed to a very mild razor. With an aggressive razor, you can get a decent shave with a single pass on your skin. If you have a very mild razor, it might take 2, 3, 4 passes over the same spot to get to a very smooth face. The more times you have to rub that blade across your skin, the more likely you have irritation.
Do you have any advice for people who want to use gel or think a gel might be better than the other options?
For some people it is. You're talking about a compressed foaming gel,
Yes.
right? There are advantages to it. It's instantly foamed in there. You don't have to worry about whipping up a lather. You don't have to worry about a brush or getting your hands all soapy. You can smear it on your face and you're ready to go. The disadvantage is it's not as healthy for your skin as a nice natural soap. It's also a little worse for the environment. The propellants are forced out into the atmosphere, and when you empty the can, you now have something you have to throw away.
Usually things that aren't environmentally friendly aren't economical in the long-term periods, are they too?
That's right. You can buy good quality shaving soaps for as little as $3 that can last up to 3 months. And when you're done, the only thing that you may have thrown away is the paper wrapper it came in. Much better choice for the environment than in 2 or 3 months throwing away a can.
All right, and now if you were to, let's say, use a hard soap, what would be your recommendations or for people who want to use a hard soap over anything else?
For a hard soap, doesn't really matter. That's a personal preference. The soap that works best for me may not work best for you. I may have a very fine hair on my face. You have something very thick. That's going to be a different soap, which of us would prefer. It's also going to depend on the water in our area, right? If you have hard water, you're going to use a different soap than if you have soft water. So that's really a very broad question. I think it would be a separate podcast to just talk about soaps.
All right, so I've already asked if there's anything wrong with gel, bars, and modern Gillette razors. And we've already answered those things. We've already answered the pros and cons to both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, so what kind of look, whether it be clean-shaven, bearded, stubbed, would be best for a person in modern times? Because a lot of times we have seen people in beards in very urban areas, and we've seen these very stylized modern beards. So, but at the same time, the clean-shaven look has always been a very traditional style for places like the office. So what do you think is the best for a person in modern times for trying to stay on trend?
Well, if you're trying to stay on trend, it's whatever's going on right now. If you're talking about an office, you have to comply with the rules of the office. The reason anyone gets paid to work is to change their behavior. You're not going to dress and speak and act the same at home as you would in the office. And if your office requires a clean shave, you're going to have a clean shave or you're going to be looking for a new job. The thing is, with a trimmed beard, you're still shaving, just not everything. If you don't shave at all, you're going to be a rather bushy-looking young man. And that may be your preference, but you're never going to look very clean or tidy. So you're always going to end up shaving a little just to keep your beard trimmed.
All right. So shaving requires definitely a lot of time and commitment, doesn't it?
Not necessarily. A shave shouldn't take more than a few minutes in the morning.
All right, so let's say a lot of people don't want to go take that time and they're really trying to shave off seconds, you know? Some people may consider it a lot more time to learn how to shave than worth the effort. So if a person has time constraints or doesn't feel that they can take time to learn how to shave, what do you recommend for them?
Well, they're going to have to learn how to shave if they intend to shave. You know, you can let your beard grow, but you're going to spend as much time trimming that beard and keeping it looking good as you would shaving so that you never had a beard in the first place. There's no shortcut for grooming yourself. You have to reach a certain minimum of taking care of yourself or you just look sloppy.
So even if I were to, let's say, shave with a razor, shave my head bald, I could not keep that and have the most low-maintenance look?
Exactly, because if you shave your head bald, you're going to keep shaving your head all the time. You may be able to skip a few days, but now you're shaving your head, which is in difference to someone who has a normal head of hair who goes and gets a cut once in a while.
That was just the analogy. I'm saying, even if I were to try and shave off everything as efficiently as possible for the most efficient, low-maintenance look, I would still have to take care of it?
Exactly. Once you shave yourself, the moment you get some stubble, you start to look scruffy. So it's a question of how scruffy you want yourself to be before you decide, I need to clean up.
It is still possible to wear something like a beard, right, and still be fashionable and hygienic, right?
Of course. But you're still going, unless you let your beard just grow wild and you want to look like a Viking, you're going to be shaving anyway because you're going to be trimming the beard. You're going to be hitting those little areas where you don't want that beard to be. You're going to be trimming it so that the beard has nice, clean lines. And you're going to be trimming the beard periodically. About once a week, you're going to have to take some kind of scissors or beard trimmer and tidy up the hairs on that beard. So you're not really saving a lot of effort. You're just changing the look that you're going for.
Thank you, and until next time.